Destroy your enemy without a fight. Have you ever felt angry, upset, or vengeful towards someone who hurt you? Have you ever wished you could take revenge on them or make them suffer the same way they made you suffer? Have you ever wasted your time and energy planning revenge or fantasizing about how you would humiliate or hurt her? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're not alone. We all have enemies in our lives or people we perceive as enemies. It could be our rivals, our competitors, our critics, our enemies, or even our friends or family who have betrayed or hurt us. But what if I told you that there was a better way to deal with your enemies? A path that does not involve fighting violence or aggression, but wisdom, virtue, and self-control. A path that not only destroys your enemies, but also transforms you into a better person. A person who is free from negative emotions and lives in harmony with himself, with others, and with nature. This is the path of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing that is truly under our control is our own judgments, opinions, and actions, and that everything else is external, indifferent, and subject to change. Therefore, we must focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control without allowing it to disturb our peace of mind. Stoicism is therefore not a passive or indifferent attitude, but an active and rational attitude, which enables us to live according to our nature and according to reason. And that enables us to face any challenge, obstacle, or adversity with courage, wisdom, and dignity. So how can Stoicism help us destroy our enemies without fighting? Here are 7 paths based on the teachings of the Stoic philosophers. Lesson number 1. Recognize that your enemy is not your enemy, but your teacher to understand how to defeat opponents without resorting to physical conflict. The first principle is to recognize that your enemy serves as a powerful teacher in the classroom of life, rather than viewing him as a malevolent force. View your opponent as a catalyst for growth. Challenge your limitations, reveal your weaknesses, and highlight your vices. Your enemy becomes a mirror, reflecting the areas that need improvement. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher of, "The best way to take revenge is not to become like the wrongdoer." This profound statement underscores the importance of overcoming hostility and cultivating virtues in response to adversity. The obstacle to action drives the lawsuit forward. What stands in the way becomes the way. Aurelius eloquently explained. This perspective urges you to turn obstacles into opportunities, to use challenges as springboards for personal and moral development rather than succumb to anger or resentment. Accept the adversity your enemy brings as a means to develop resilience, strength, and wisdom. Furthermore, Marcus Aurelius encourages self-reflection with the advice to, whenever you are about to find a fault in someone, ask yourself the following question. Which of my faults most closely resembles the one I am about to criticize? This introspective approach forces you to recognize your imperfections before you judge others. Promote humility and empathy. Therefore, you should consider expressing your gratitude for the valuable lessons they teach you instead of harboring hatred or seeking revenge against your enemy. Spread goodwill. Wish them well and explore the potential for reconciliation. Change your perspective. Stop seeing your enemy as a threat, but accept him as a unique gift, as a blessing that drives you to self-discovery and personal development. By adopting this mindset, you not only disarm the negative influence of your enemies, but you also rise to a higher level of understanding and compassion. Essentially, the path to destroying your enemy without resorting to physical conflict is paved with the wisdom you gain from dealing with adversity as a master leader on your path to becoming a better person. Lesson number 2. Recognize that your enemy is not the cause of your suffering, but your judgment in the quest to dismantle your enemy's power without resorting to physical confrontation. The second crucial idea is to understand that your opponent is not the fundamental cause of your suffering. In fact, it is your own judgments that exercise this power. Your enemy does not directly instill anger, sadness, or fear in you, Rather, it is your interpretation of your actions, your thought processes, and your reactions that shape your emotional responses. Your enemy. Then it functions like a mirror reflecting the inner landscape of your mind and emotions. They illuminate areas where your judgments are biased, where irrationality and emotional reactivity govern your thoughts. In this context, your opponent serves as a catalyst, exposing patterns of unrealistic expectations and highlighting deep-rooted attachments and aversions to external circumstances. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who emerged from slavery in and became a revered teacher, summarized this idea in its entirety, and in its not the events that worry people, they are his judgments on them. This basic idea challenges the idea that external events have an inherent power to disturb one's peace. Rather, it is the lens through which these events are interpreted that shapes the emotional response. Men don't care about things, but about the opinions they have about them. Epictetus emphasized, this statement underscores Stoic philosophy's emphasis on the inner realm and urges individuals to recognize that their perceptions and interpretations play a fundamental role in determining their emotional states. By understanding that your enemy is not the sole source of your confusion, but rather a catalyst for your own judgments, you gain the power to change your reactions and develop emotional resilience. Furthermore, Epictetus asks people to remember that insults and name-calling do not inherently offend them. Instead, it is the interpretation and judgment of these actions that lead to feelings of insult. This requires a profound change of perspective from blaming the outside world to taking responsibility for one's own interpretations and emotional reactions, instead of directing blame, complaints, or resentment toward your enemy. Embark on the transformative journey of self-examination. Question your assumptions, examine your judgments, and strive to change your perspective, rather than perceiving your enemy as a source of pain, misery, or fear. Recognize them as catalysts for deep self-awareness, wisdom, joy, and courage. In this paradigm, your enemy becomes an ignorant guide who leads you on the path of inner freedom and detachment from circumstances beyond your control. By recognizing that your judgments hold the key to your emotional state, you empower yourself to free yourself from the chains of suffering and embrace the profound liberation that comes with a change in perspective. Lesson number 3. Understand them. The primary strategy for neutralizing your enemy without resorting to physical conflict is to delve deeper into the realms of understanding. This includes understanding the reasons for calling your opponent. Recognize your desires and unravel the complexity of your thought processes. The key is to perceive them as they really are, not through the lens of, imagine, passion or preconceived notions. By developing a deep understanding of your enemy, you gain the ability to approach potential conflict prudently. This insight allows you to preemptively detect their movements, exploit their vulnerabilities, and avoid unnecessary confrontations. Furthermore, as you delve deeper into their mindset, you can reveal their humanity and witness their imperfections, vulnerabilities, and inner struggles. This understanding refutes the simplistic idea that they are inherently evil, transforming them into individuals who may be wrong rather than malevolent, flawed rather than monstrous, and fundamentally similar to you. Rather than being different, understanding the enemy also provides a mirror for one's own psyche. Discover your anger triggers, threats to your ego, and challenges to your values by taking a close look at your reactions and motivations. You embark on a journey of self-discovery. This introspective process allows you to learn from your mistakes, refine your character, and cultivate the growth of wisdom within you. Seneca, the revered Stoic philosopher, succinctly summarized this transformative approach. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make him a friend. This aphorism goes beyond the traditional understanding of defeating an opponent by force and calls on individuals to explore the transformative power of turning an enemy into an ally. Such a conversion is not simply an external change, but an internal metamorphosis, which requires a deep understanding of the motives and perspectives of both parties. By understanding your enemy, you can also understand yourself. You can see what triggers your anger, what threatens your ego, and what challenges your values. You can examine your own motives, actions, and consequences. You can learn from your mistakes, improve your character, and grow your wisdom. Lesson number 4. Ignore them in the complicated web of eliminating hostilities without engaging in physical combat. The fourth powerful strategy is the art of willful ignorance. This involves a conscious decision to divert your opponent's attention, choosing not to acknowledge his words, actions, or mere presence. It is an approach in which treats them as if they go unnoticed or unnoticed. Ignoring your enemy is a formidable tactic as it deprives him of the satisfaction that often comes with provocation, damage, or influence by showing indifference to his attempts to disrupt. They convey a powerful message that they have no influence on your emotions, actions, or well-being. This not only denies them the expected response, but also conveys to them that their efforts are useless and irrelevant. Additionally, willfully ignoring your enemy allows you to focus your attention on what is truly important in your life. By avoiding possible distractions, you can channel your energy into activities that bring you joy, are consistent with your goals, and contribute to personal growth. This conscious change allows you to overcome the negativity associated with conflict and invest your time and effort in activities that enrich your life. Living in the present moment becomes a crucial aspect of this strategy. By ignoring your enemy, you create mental and emotional space to appreciate the positive in your life. Foster a mindset of gratitude. This in turn allows you to prepare for the future with a clear and unencumbered perspective. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, just as the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius advocated. Summarizes the essence of this approach. This maxim encourages an exit from the cycle of retaliation and negativity and urges individuals to overcome the impulse to imitate the actions of their opponents by choosing a path of non-commitment and willful ignorance. Not only do you protect yourself from the corrosive effects of hostility, but you also embody a higher form of resilience and wisdom by ignoring your enemy. You can also focus on what is important to you, what makes you happy, and what makes you better. You can pursue your goals, cultivate your virtues, and enjoy your life. You can live in the present, appreciate the good, and prepare for the future. Lesson number 5. Forgive them on the difficult journey of disarming your enemy without resorting to physical combat. The design strategy of the fifth transference includes the tremendous power of forgiveness. This transcendent act involves letting go of resentment, releasing the grip of resentment, and renouncing any lingering desire for revenge. It is an increase in consciousness that implies accepting the reality of what has happened, understand the underlying reasons, and ultimately overcome the chains of past grievances. Forgiving the enemy is like freeing yourself from the burden of hatred. Neutralize the poison of anger and free your mind from the entanglement of bitterness. It is a process that not only heals the wounds caused by hostility, but also facilitates the restoration of inner peace, allowing you to regain your emotional and mental balance. Furthermore, America Forgiven opens the door to the possibility of reconciliation, collaboration, or even the emergence of an unexpected friendship. When you choose forgiveness, you embark on a journey of personal empowerment. This transformative act is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength, generosity, and nobility. Prove that you are not a slave to your emotions, but a master of reason, able to overcome the primary impulse of retaliation. Show that you are not a victim of circumstances, but a conscious creator of your destiny, choosing the path of healing and growth. Epictetus, the revered Stoic teacher, summarizes the essence of forgiveness with his profound words. Forgiveness is better than revenge, because forgiveness is a sign of a kind nature, but revenge is a sign of wild nature. This wisdom underlines the transformative power of forgiveness and highlights it as a manifestation of a kind and enlightened character. Choosing forgiveness over revenge is not just a tactical decision, but a reflection of the inner strength that comes from overcoming lower instincts and embracing the higher virtues of compassion and understanding. By forgiving your enemy, you can also demonstrate your strength, your generosity, and your nobility. You will be able to show that you are not a slave to your feelings, but the owner of your reason. You can show that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but rather the creator of your destiny. You can show that you are not a follower of the crowd, but a leader of yourself. Lesson number 6. Outwit them in the complicated dance of reducing enmity without resorting to physical confrontation. The 6th strategic path is the art of outsmarting the opponent. This involves using your intelligence, creativity, and strategic acumen to navigate the complexities of the conflict and emerge victorious through the power of ingenuity and ingenuity. Outsmarting the enemy is evidence of foresight, allows you to avoid unnecessary risks, overcome formidable obstacles, and strive for results consistent with your goals. This strategic approach not only protects you from potential dangers, but also positions you as a master of the chessboard, anticipating moves and counterattacks with finesse. Furthermore, the element of surprise, confusion, or admiration that comes with outsmarting your opponent can inspire respect, admiration, or even a touch of fear. Demonstration of intellectual ability in the face of adversity serves as evidence of competence, ingenuity, and excellence. It is a proclamation that goes beyond mere tactical victories, that establishes you as a sage, that navigates the complicated web of conflict. This approach conveys that you are not a passive observer, but an active participant. Strategically maneuver pieces to achieve desired results. Cicero, the venerable Stoic jurist, summed up the essence of this approach with his eternal wisdom. The skill of the wise man is to take advantage of everything that happens. This wise advice promotes a perspective that goes beyond immediate circumstances, urging people to turn challenges into opportunities and adversity into stepping stones on the path to progress. Essentially, outwitting becomes a manifestation of wisdom. By turning the tide of conflict in your favor and demonstrating the resilience of the human spirit by outwitting your enemy, you can avoid unnecessary risks, overcome difficult obstacles, and achieve desirable results. You can also surprise, confuse, or impress them. You can make them respect, admire, or fear you by outsmarting your enemy. You will also be able to demonstrate your competence, ingenuity, and excellence. You can prove that you are not a fool, but a wise man. You can prove that you are not a pawn, but a player. You can prove that you are not a loser, but a winner. Lesson number 7. Love them in the deep quest to neutralize enmity without resorting to physical combat. The 7th and final strategy is to harness the transformative power of love. This includes the use of kindness, compassion, and benevolence as instruments of change. It is a paradigm-shifting approach that goes beyond traditional notions of conflict resolution and urges people to wish their opponents well, engage benevolently, and actively contribute to their personal growth. Loving the enemy is an alchemical process that has the potential to transform their hostility into understanding, heal their wounds, and even lead them to the path of salvation. At the same time, this act of love becomes a profound journey of self-enhancement, self-enrichment, and self-enlightenment by choosing love over hostility. Not only do you influence the other person, but you also rise to a higher level of consciousness and moral strength. The transformative power of love extends beyond the realm of interpersonal dynamics. It is a power that has the ability to transform opponents into friends, opponents into allies, and conflicts into opportunities for cooperation through the genuine expression of love. You foster an environment in which relationships can be restored, alliances can be formed, and partnerships can thrive by choosing love in response to hostility. you also affirm your own humanity, divinity, and inherent beauty. It is a declaration that you are not a harbinger of hate, but a harbinger of love. This act shows that you rise above the basest instincts and embody a divine quality that transcends the realm of conflict. It underlines its role not just as part of the problem, but as an integral part of the solution. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, summed up this transformative approach with his timeless wisdom. The best way to get revenge is not to be like that. This profound statement challenges the idea of revenge as a solution and calls on people to overcome the cycle of hate and adopt a higher standard of behavior grounded in love and compassion. By loving your enemy, you can also express your humanity, your divinity, and your beauty. You can prove that you are not an enemy, but a lover. You can prove that you are not an animal, but a god. You can show that you are not part of the problem, but part of the solution. In embracing these 7 transformative ways to dissolve enmity without resorting to physical combat, the Stoic philosophy offers a profound roadmap not only for overcoming external adversaries, but more importantly, for conquering the internal foes within oneself. By following these paths, you embark on a journey of self-destruction, not of your true self, but of the false constructs of ego, pride, and ignorance that shroud your authentic being. The essence of Stoicism lies in the destruction of the enemy within, paving the way for the emergence of the best version of yourself through conscious choices to understand, ignore, forgive, outsmart, and ultimately love. You break down the barriers that prevent your connection with virtue, wisdom, and happiness. Will you join us on this odyssey of self-discovery and growth? The path of the Stoic awaits and promises a life full of deep fulfillment and meaning. If you find resonance in these timeless teachings, we invite you to like, comment, and subscribe to Join a Community dedicated to exploring the depths of wisdom and virtue. Let us go on a shared journey to the highest ideals of Stoic philosophy that enriches our lives and those of those around us in the pursuit of a harmonious and enlightened existence.